Hey, welcome back. What's happening, my fearless networking friends? Todd Falcone here. All right, today let's chat about how to taproot and build depth in a network marketing organization. So that's the subject of the day, and I want to go into a little bit of detail with that on you. So here's the thing. When we're building an organization in network marketing, first it starts out with you recruiting and gathering customers. That's phase one. We've got to, and that, by the way, that phase never stops, right? We're always, as leaders, demonstrating what it's like to be great leaders by continuing to build our businesses, not point our finger and tell other people to do the same. The second thing that we do a lot of in network marketing is team building and working with our organization. And I want to cover a little bit on the idea of taprooting or building depth and actually making the organization grow. Sometimes, people go into network marketing and they're like, oh, I'm just kind of hoping that, these people are going to get after it. But you demonstrate and you exercise a tremendous amount of control over how big and how fast your organization grows based on how you team build and how you work with the organization. Now, I also want to repeat myself. You never want to move from just prospecting and recruiting to only working with your team. And if you've plugged into me for any period of time, I've coined the term for that. It's the kiss of death in network marketing. It's the moment you move from prospecting and recruiting to only working with your team. And I'm going to continue to repeat that because it's a bad habit. Network marketers do it all the time. They because the demands of your time start to shift, all of a sudden, next thing you know, all you're doing is working with the team and you've stopped recruiting. And that's just simply not a good thing. And then the reason it's not a good thing is a number of reasons. Number one, somebody's going to kind of see what's up and they're going to go, wait a second, my sponsor's not working. Maybe I should just be working with the team. And next thing you know, everybody's managing everybody else and nobody's actually doing anything. It's like I'm pointing the finger. I'm the boss. You need to go do this. And that just doesn't work, right? But here's the thing. Taprooting involves this, okay? It involves a few things. Number one, you need to understand your compensation plan enough to know what it takes to rank advance at all different levels. Like I did a training recently with a group of people, and it was interesting. Probably 80% of them couldn't tell me exactly what it took to reach different levels in the compensation plan. You don't need to know or be able to explain every intricate percentage point that's paid out in the compensation plan. If you do, that's great. But the reality is most network marketers couldn't sit there and articulate every single percentage and how it's paid out and draw it out. And it's just, because most of them are actually kind of complex. There's multiple bonuses paid out. There's this bonus. There's this customer acquisition bonus. There's rank advancement bonuses. There's volume bonuses. There's all these different things. And it's kind of hard to understand all of that. But what you really need to do is you have to understand what it takes to rank advance. That's the beginning of taprooting in an organization to me. Is I can't taproot an organization and build depth and help people rank advance unless I know exactly what's required. So my suggestion to you in today is make sure, and I would even create a document, a one sheet that okay, for me to get to silver, it requires 3 personally enrolled and $1,000 in volume. For me to get to gold, it requires 6 enrollments and $5,000 in volume. And for me to get to this, it requires that. So you know what it is. And it's pretty simple to be able to at least pull that out. Like, what are the requirements for rank advancement? Because unless you do that, you can't really effectively build depth in an organization and multiply the volume that's taking place. So number one is doing that. The second thing is it involves you digging into your genealogy report. That means you keeping an eye on what's happening in the organization. And one of the things I talk about when I'm on stage is I say, look for pockets. Look for pockets of activity. Who's doing, who's building, who's rank advancing, who's active, who's put in a bunch of people this last month. And you look through the organization. It doesn't matter how deep they are in the organization either. I'm a big fan, and it's so funny because I have people that say, well, it's a 7-level pay plan, and why would I ever work with anybody at level 8 or level 9? Because, I don't make any money on those people. The reason I would is because people quit. And if you've built a relationship with somebody on level 8 and level 9 that may be out of your pay levels, depending on the type of compensation plan we're talking about. I mean, typically like a binary comp plan, you end up literally making money on every level in there's really no levels in the compensation plan, like a unilevel or a matrix or a breakaway compensation plan. Those are typically limited in depth, unlimited width, but limited in depth. A binary, you can only put one on your left and one on your right, and then it goes down from there. And I'm not going to get into that in this particular discussion, but the important thing, number one, is understanding what it takes to rank advance. And you need to be very, very clear on exactly and understand and know exactly what it takes to rank advance, because that's what gives you the power to be able to build in depth and Taproot. So here's the way it typically would work. So first of all, and I'm going to cover this so it will work for any compensation plan for this particular episode. You have to, number one, again, you got to know, you have to know, you guys, you have to know what it takes to rank advance at all levels. Don't just stop at gold. What's it going to take to get to 17-star triple diamond platinum ambassador? I mean, whatever the top of your compensation plan is, you need to know what that is, even if you're far away from it, because how could you ever get there personally if you don't really know what are the requirements? You might luck out and get there, but I think it's better to know than to be naive. So now what you do is throughout the month, you need to be going through your genealogy report and keeping an eye on and looking at, opening it up and digging through it and looking for people that are active, that are building, that are recruiting, that are doing something. Like if I look at somebody in there and I can see that they're a $100 auto ship, but they have nobody in their organization, that's not somebody that I'm typically going to go reach out to and I'm going to try to make something more happen if they're on level 5 in my organization. But if I see somebody on level 5 that's got 6 personally enrolled people this month and they've got 92 people on their team and I don't know them, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call them. And the call will be, hey, is John in? Yeah, this is John. Hey, John, Todd Falcone, how you doing? He's like, who? I said, this is Todd Falcone. I'm part of the leadership team with Company X. Wanted to introduce myself to you. I see that you came in last month. You enrolled 6 people, got 92 people in the organization. Great job. Wanted to make sure you got my contact information. If there's any way I can serve you, work with you, help you, I want to be able to do that. So there's 2 things I want to do in this particular episode. Number one, and this is something I do when I'm on stages, like, and I'm doing a team building training. I'm a big fan of having a huge whiteboard on your wall, right? So that you can, it's kind of like your war board. You can put, your personally sponsored people up on that whiteboard, and then anybody underneath those people that are doing something. Like, so let's say I've got John, Sally, and Susie, who are my 3 personally sponsored frontline people. And I have John, Sally, and Susie at the top of my whiteboard, right? I'm going to put under John, Sally, and Susie, anybody under them that's producing something that I feel like I want to keep an eye on this person. This person enrolled 28 people last month. This person on level 7, they brought in 14 people. This person just did 2 rank advancements in the last 2 months. I don't know who they are yet. And this is how you gain control of growing an organization. The people that you're putting up on your whiteboard are your assets. These are the high valued assets, people that are doing something. So again, you need to determine for yourself who those people are that you put up there. But for me, the people I put up there are the people that are doing something, like wow, hold on a second. This person brought in X number of people. I need to keep an eye on that guy. I want to know who that person is. I want to be able to reach out to that person and make sure I'm able to offer my assistance and create a relationship with that person to help them grow their business. And sometimes people think, oh, well, gee, I don't want to upset the apple cart. I mean, I got this guy in my business who's 4 levels down from me that's put 27 people in this last month. I don't want to scare him. What if I call him and I scare him? Like, some people think that. I don't understand it. You need to call these people and introduce yourself and offer your assistance. That's part of it. There's 2 parts of this particular episode. Number one, actually kind of 3 parts. Number one, it's understanding the rank advancements. So that way, like if I called John, for example, and he has 29 personally enrolled people, and it takes 30 to rank advance in a particular rank, for example, I'm not going to go on the assumption that John knows the compensation plan well enough to know that he's only 1 person away. I'm going to be able to communicate and say, John, I know you got 29 people. The month's about to end. If you put 1 more person in before the end of the month, you're going to rank advance to, superstar diamond or whatever it might be, right? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. And then he goes in and enrolls a person, and by the way, just that phone call that you did enabled you to actually create more volume in the organization because you understood the comp plan enough to know. And number two, you reach through the genealogy looking for people that are active and producing. And you could, in most genealogy reports, you can see how far somebody is away from a rank advancement. Now, here's the way I'm going to just kind of give a short version on this for comp plans that typically have like a 30-day run. So like from the first of the month to the 31st of the month, that's all the volume that's calculated. And then we start the next month, everybody's at zero, and new rank advancements from the previous month happened after the 31st. So my philosophy with with taprooting an organization is you're spending the first 3 weeks of the month in normal business operations, recruiting, prospecting, drumming up new business. Everybody's in the same mode, prospecting, customers, distributors, putting new people in, getting people started, and so on. The last 7 days of the month is exclusively dedicated to closing the month. So from like the 25th or 26th of the month, what you do is you go to the bottom of the organization and you go all the way down. Like I'll take my example, I'll make up different names now. Tom is my front level guy. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of his organization. I'm going to start looking for people from the bottom up. And I'm going to see somebody who's at, way down at the bottom, and I'm making up this example. I go to the bottom and I see this person that has 3 people in her group and it takes 5 to rank advance. Well, she's got 3, she's only 2 away. I'm going to pick up the phone and say, hey, Sally, Todd Falcone, I wanted to reach out to you. We're wrapping up the month. I noticed you got 3 people in your organization. You're only 2 people away from a rank advancement. If you are able to get 2 more people in before the end of the month, you'll rank advance to silver, which will get you a $150 rank advancement bonus. Also involves you understanding, if there are bonuses that are paid out with rank advancements. It's different for every compensation plan, but if there is one, that's like an ammunition for you, because they're like, wait a minute, there's a carrot hanging out for them. She may not even know that she's 2 people away, but because you communicated with her, she's like, holy smokes, I had no idea. I got 2 of my friends that are about to join. I was like, probably going to put them in next week, but I'll put them in now. Okay, so what you did is you just added potentially 2 new people. Now you go 1 level up. And you go to this next person. This next person, oh, well, they're not really active. But then you go 1 level up and you go, wait a minute, this person's got 8 personally sponsored, and they only need 2 more to get the next rank advancement. Oh, well, hey, John, Todd Falcone, listen, I wanted to give you a buzz. We're wrapping up the month. I see you're doing a great job. You're only 2 people away from hitting gold in the compensation plan. They pay you a $500 rank advancement bonus if you do it by the end of the month. Oh, wait a second, I had no idea. Or maybe they go, well, I'm not really ready to do it. I'm kind of, I'm going to go on my own time, and that person's not ready. And then you continue to work your way up line, up each leg, up each leg. It gets a little bit more, there's a little bit more involved in it when you've got a huge organization, but it doesn't matter. This is the philosophy. It's like, and I did a video years ago on YouTube. I can't remember the title of it. How to triple your volume in 5 days or less was the title of that particular video. I did it years ago, and I did it on a whiteboard so you can actually see the demonstration of it. And what I do is I go through and I teach you. You can't take a log and light it on fire with a lighter. You can't take a lighter and light a log on fire. But the way you create a fire is dry paper, little teeny pieces of kindling, bigger pieces of kindling, bigger pieces of kindling. And if you light the paper on fire at the bottom, the little pieces light, the bigger pieces light, the bigger pieces light. Ultimately, because you've got so much heat, the entire log lights on fire, right? And so the very first time I learned how to do this was so many years ago. I can't remember the exact volume, but it was like $13,000 in volume, and that was like at the 25th of the month, and I probably would have finished the month at, I don't know, $13,500 in total sales volume in the organization, but we ended up, I think it was like, I don't remember, 65, 75, 95,000. It was a big, let's call it 65,000. I don't remember what the number was because it's been so many years, but we went from 13 to 65 in 5 days. Huge, huge increase. Literally, by doing this, you can triple, quadruple the amount of volume that's in your organization, but it doesn't happen overnight. That's why when you talk to professional network marketers, the last 5 days of the month, or certainly the last day of the month, you're not even talking. Like if I call it, I never even call network marketers on the last day of the month because they're wrapping up their business. They are closing the month strong, and you literally finish. You're doing all of this the last few days of the month, and you can absolutely take an organization that's doing 10 grand in total sales and bump it up to 25 or 50,000. You can take an organization that's doing 100,000 and you can turn it into 200,000. I will tell you this, I'll be very clear. This last week of the month is insanity. You are after it, you're on the phones, this person, that person. Like I've literally had 2 phones going at the same time for 12 hours a day for 3 straight days. But we also were able to make multiple rank advancements happen, have huge gains in volume, add 80, 100, 200, 400, 500 extra enrollments that would have otherwise happened if we weren't taprooting and specifically working on building depth. So again, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot more detail. The reality is, number one, you need to understand what it takes to rank advance in your compensation plan at all levels. Number two, you need to start looking at the genealogy report and identifying key assets that are producing in your business. And the reason I say put it up on a whiteboard, because as soon as you close your computer or as soon as you shut off your phone, you can't see it. But if I can sit here, I can look up and I go, I need to call Janet, give Janet a call. I haven't talked to her in a few days. These are your key undeveloped assets that you work with, and then you finish the month strong by building from the bottom up. And because you started to light the fire down here, light the fire up here, by the time I go 5 levels up, I'm like, dude, check it out. We've added 72 new people into your leg this month, just in the last few days. If you hustle and get this, and this, you're gonna qualify as diamond this month. Are you prepared to step up and try to make that happen? Because just in the last few days, if you notice, you've seen a lot of increase in volume. That's because we've been working with the people in the group and helping those other people rank advance. So all these people end up, you'll have multiple rank advancements all the way up through the organization, and it's super powerful. That's the basics of taprooting, okay? Not hard, but this is an important skill that you need to master if you're going to be successful in network marketing, period, end of story. Now, here's the thing. If you're watching me on YouTube or you're listening to my podcast, go to toddfalcone.com/episode 14 and make sure you download. We've got some great resources for you, some free resources that will help you to master not only this skill, but a lot of other skills in network marketing. So if you head on over to toddfalcone.com/episode 14, you can grab that stuff for free. It's a free download on my site. I hope you're having an amazing day. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one.